Dear 15-year-old me, you're currently in 2014 and you're in year 11 at high school, which means that you're about 4 months away from finishing your GCSEs and moving on to sixth form. During your last couple of months at high school, you're going to go through a pretty big falling out with your group of friends, and it goes as far as your head of year getting involved. It's very dramatic. But you come out the other side, and 3 years down the line, you still talk to most people that were part of that argument. So you came out better because of it. One of the best things about finishing school is that you finally get to go to prom and wear that beautiful princess dress that's been hanging in your wardrobe since November. And you really do look like a princess, and everyone on your mum's Facebook thinks so as well. 2 years later, you get to attend another prom in another princess style dress, and that one's pretty beautiful as well. However, in everyday life, you still don't really understand how hair and makeup works, especially not eyebrows when they eventually become quite a big thing in fashion. Nowadays, your wardrobe is pretty much all black and white clothing, not really by choice, but purely because that's what you have to wear for your job. Speaking of jobs, you are in the first couple of weeks of one that you are going to absolutely hate. You get to the point where you're waking up feeling sick because you're dreading being around the bosses so much. So you stick it out for a year and then you quit and you move on to work in a different cafe. The boss is a lot nicer and it's a family-run business, yet 6 months down the line you still end up quitting and leaving on pretty bad terms with the boss. This time it's not really your fault, it's reasons that I won't go into on camera, but you'll get through it, you'll be okay. You then move into the job that I'm currently still working in 18 months later. It's an amazing company to be working for, and you love it, and you make friends with people that you hope that you're going to know for the rest of your life. Over the next year or so from where you are, you're going to realise something pretty big. And again, it's something I'm not going to go into on camera, but it's going to have a pretty big impact on your life. YouTube. Obviously, you're still doing YouTube. Fair enough, you didn't make videos for 18 months and the whole of 2015, but you're back and you're still watching the same YouTubers that you were. Sitzy 2014, you finally get to meet Tessa and you definitely cry a little bit. You've now met her 5 times, and at your latest meeting, you got to just sit and talk to her and Dodie, Doddle for like 2 hours whilst watching Rusty Clanton performing. What more could you want? So YouTube wise, not much has really changed, and obviously those YouTubers make music, so in music aspects as well, you're still listening to the same people. With the addition of one very important girl band, Fifth Harmony. Right now, you haven't heard of them, but come the end of 2014, your obsession is going to hit hard. They release a song called Boss, and they play it on the majority of the music channels that you spend so long flicking through. You still do that now as well. And then about 8 months later, they're going to release their debut album, and you're going to go and see them at Summertime Ball, and then see them again in October, and then again the following October. Summer of 2014, you get your first experience of being in America, and you go to Orlando, and you go on a long drive from Miami to Orlando, and then Orlando to Cape Coral, and then back to Miami again. And it's one of the coolest road trips you've ever been on. Followed shortly by the holiday that you go on at Christmas 2016, which again, you go back to America. You pretty much do a Californian road trip, and it's a pretty cool time. One very important family member is no longer with us. In about 8 months' time from where you are, you're going to lose Jensen, and it's going to be the most heartbreaking experience that you've ever gone through. The hardest part of that situation is going to be seeing your dad cry. A lot. But you're all there for each other, and you'll all make it through. You and Georgia are still best friends. You meet up for coffee every week. You go out clubbing together. That's a thing. You didn't think you'd ever go clubbing, did you? You can drive. You passed your test after 8 months of lessons. you waited until your 18th birthday so that you didn't have exams in the way of your lessons. So now you drive around in your little Fiat 500 called Luigi, and you have this whole new sort of independence that you didn't have before. So, 15-year-old Ciara, if there's one piece of advice that I can give you, well, there's two. One, please study harder for your GCSEs and your A-levels. And two, do not start chatting up that guy in your form. Just don't do it.